Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lion tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand. We did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning. This is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
Welcome everyone to Nerd TV for another Global Racing League Truck Series event live from the California Speedway, Auto Club Speedway, the fictional raceway, 2 miles here from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from the iRacing platform. And well, if we're going to do some fictional racing tonight, here's the place to be. You're gonna have an awesome battle throughout this entire event. Doesn't matter if you're first place, 10 points. It's going to be a great time over here. Weather on the track also looking kind of sporty when it comes to competition. 66% humidity, unlike our last broadcast when we had Daytona was 0%. That was faulty. 67 degrees in the skies, overcasty, 9 to 10, even up towards of 11-mile-an-hour winds here. So when you're going 150 mile an hour in the corner, that might or might not play a factor here tonight. So we'll keep our eyes on loose trucks, on corner exits and whatnot here as we're starting up the countdown to green. And of course, my name on the microphone is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty on the interwebs. To my right hand side, well, my camera there, right? Hey, I'm extra blown up today. We're gonna fix that. Dustin Loxton to my right hand side, pressing all the buttons, responsible for all the graphic work and sounds. What's up, guy?
Hey, man, looking for a good race. It's Auto Club. Unfortunately, it's now dubbed a legacy track because, like you said, man, it no longer exists. But this track always poses some amazing racing. It's got the draft aspect to it. You'll see straight line drafting down the straightaways, but man, when they hit those corners, you're going to see these trucks fan out 2, 3, even 4 wide at times. So it's going to be some good racing tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be an excellent time here, and there's a special theme to this race, Dustin. You were talking to me about it, and the admins are they're releasing the rule book a little bit when it comes to the profanity lineup. If you see any extra words that you're usually not used to seeing on Sundays here from last year or now this year, it's because they got a kick cancer's ass type of theme here, and we got someone that wants to come in and talk about it here. One of the main guys who run Global Racing League, Michael Lester. We're gonna pull him in real quick and see if we can get a word with him. Michael Lester, it's Jeremy and Dustin in the Nerd TV booth. What's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Hey man, minus me going through a whole roll of toilet paper going on my nose, and Dustin's doing just fine. We're doing good. We're doing good. So if I sound like my balls dropped finally, we're here.
Well, man, I'm happy to
Yeah.
hear that your balls dropped. Uh, but yeah, I appreciate y'all giving me the time to talk about this race tonight. For all the people out there that's watching who haven't watched us in the past, the third race of our season here is we're always doing a cancer awareness race. The guys dress up in their finest Let's Kick Cancer's Butt outfits on there, and they put them on there. The history behind this car in our first ever season, we had a driver in global racing who had to take some time off because his dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Luckily for him, he went into remission. I haven't talked to him for a while. I don't know the updates, but hopefully he's doing well. So Dale Brooks and Dale Brooks Sr., hope you guys and your family is doing great out there, and he's still battling that and still going strong. Tonight's race, we're gonna. I'm sorry, I was reading something and talking at the same time. It doesn't make a good mix, but we're gonna definitely want to do some shout outs to everybody out there who are been affected by cancer, loved ones passing. We have a few guys in our global racing that I'm gonna name off here real quick and give a big shout out to him. John Howard, driver the number 78 car. His mom passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2016. Want to give a shout out to the Howard family and all of her friends who knew her. I'm pretty sure I didn't get the chance to meet her or know about her, but I'm pretty sure she was a wonderful woman. Shane Weldon's sister, Angel Weinman, passed away a couple years ago from colon cancer, and he's going to be running a dedication truck for her tonight. Anthony Emmerich, he lost his mother in 2014 to the dirty C word. He refuses to say it, and I don't blame him. Me personally, I lost one of my favorite aunts a couple years ago to cancer. She had brain cancer, so I'm gonna drive for her tonight, and I'm gonna drive for all the families who've been affected by the cancer. Again, I want to give a shout out to everybody. Not you don't even have to be part of this global league. Anybody who's facing this upward battle against cancer, definitely want to give a big shout out and let them know that we're all thinking about them and wishing them well. And I appreciate you guys giving me the time to come out here and give these guys a shout out and all their families and loved ones.
Yeah, man, absolutely here, and it's great to get the promotion or the word out to try to raise awareness anywhere you can because it is the number one leading cause of death, I do believe, globally speaking. So let's kick some butt here tonight, and man, good luck for tonight.
All right,
And
I did
we'll talk
forget
later.
one. I forgot one and had to go down a little bit longer on the list. Bobby Mantle in the '89 car. Uh, he's not racing cancer, but he is trying to bring attention to Hodgkin's disease, which is just as much terrible disease as cancer is. It takes a lot of people, and he's had a couple of people affected in his family members. So big shout out to the Mantle family, and wish everybody who's suffering from this horrible disease a good fight, and wish you guys well.
Appreciate those words, sir. And it is almost through qualifying here, so maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later tonight. But good luck tonight, man.
Well, thank you guys, and I'll head back to my channel now.
Yes, sir. I got you.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, that was Michael Lester. Don't talk to him too much, Dustin, and you know, he's the voice to promote what's going on tonight, which is the raise of awareness for cancer and F cancer, kick cancer's ass, whatever you're gonna see. You're gonna see these on the trucks. There's a lot of trucks out here. I'm kind of cycling through, Dustin, as he was talking. There is a bunch of schemes, like the Whataburger truck that Stephen Hayes likes to run that he brought back for us. He's customized that. He's got a pink W on the thing. There's a black truck with orange text, and it has, you know, all the negative stuff to it. So I kind of love this. Every third race of the year, it's all about cancer.
Absolutely, and as they're qualifying, we're going to get our faces off the screen and let you guys focus on what's happening there. But yeah, it's a great thing that they do this, and I mean it's something that has affected humanity for far too long. So Pfizer, you're on the docket. Let's get this shit done. No messing around anymore. And we've made advancements enough. I mean, we should. This is definitely something that should not be affecting as many as what it does. So, but for those that it has affected, again, our hearts and thoughts out to anybody that has been negatively affected by this disease, you know, up to this point. So, but these boys are going to put on one hell of a show right now. Qualifying, we were on board with Michael Hayes, who had the fastest practice time. Crosses the line. Not going to be the fastest time right now. Right now, it's not Michael Hayes that has the fastest time, but Stephen Hayes, and you were just talking about that in the customized Whataburger truck. He has the fastest time at the top right now. We're going to go on board with JJ McCoy as he's going to be completing his laps, Jeremy. And we talked about it too. This track, it's qualifying is going to be important. You know, the further up you start, the less trucks you have to pass, because passing at this track can be difficult, Jeremy.
Yeah, you would think having, you know, 6 lanes to work with, it would make it easier, but no, actually, there's grip on the top half of the track. Bottom's a little bumpy, a little slipperier. Now the middle groove, depending on how your setup's tuned in, you know, there's so many options here. But at the end of the day, when you run high or low, you're gonna run the same lap time, so it kind of makes it tough to pass on the bottom sometimes. Or if you're on the top, you might have the chance of overusing their tires, and then the people on the bottom then do have a chance. So it's a really strategic style race, not on fuel mileage wise, but it's all about tire wear here and what lane to run, where it's faster, can the drivers adapt, going from bottom, middle to top, depending on weather and track conditions. So it's so cool. Even in qualifying, you're seeing the second lane, third lane being used right off the get-go. So it's really just a true driver's track.
It really is, and you know the divider on that, and what's going to make or break whether somebody can do something, Jeremy, is going to be tires, and tire management. Now we've gone over this before. Breakdown: it is open setup over here at the Global Racing League Truck Series, 100% fuel load. They do have 4 sets of tires, no fast repairs, 3 green, white checkers attempts, and Lucky Dog and wave rounds are in effect, but that's 4 set of tires. That's only 3 in the pits for 100 laps here, 200 miles, Jeremy. So they have to manage and maintain those Goodyear sneakers on those trucks.
There you go. There's your touching points there. And Dustin, it is race time here. These guys are getting gridded up. I want to read off one quick YouTube chat here. Holmesy saying rotator cuff and bicep surgery this past Friday, so I'll be sidelined for a bit. So the number 33 Holmesy. will not be in this race or the next few weeks to follow. Hopefully your recovery goes well, and we'll see you on track whenever you're ready to go, sir. And here is the starting lineup for today's Auto Club race. It's called the Dale Brooks Classic 200. So Stephen Hayes, P1, in that 13 Whataburger truck. To his outside, new name, Jeremy Richmond in the 98 Starburst Chevrolet. Row number 2, you'll find Blake Tidwell. And to his outside, the number 2, Brody Marinko. Row 3, 5th place, Bobby Mantle. 6th place will be Michael Hayes. Row 4 and 7th will be Justin LeBlanc. Clay White in 8th on the outside. Row 5 will be David Holsey. In 9th place, J.J. McCoy in 10th. Abram Ghostin and Jacob Grant make up row 6. Mark Sherwood and Don Blazier make up row 7. Row 8, you'll find John Howard and Dustin Franklin. Row 9, you'll find Stephen Knight and Danny White. Row 10 will be Jeff Wimmer and Shane Wielden. 21st in row 11 is Bradley Miner. 22nd place, Jonathan Gaston. Row 12, you'll find Ricky Hedgens. And 24th, you'll find Michael Lester. 25th will be Chuck Cobb. 26th, Patrick Gettner. 27th, Joshua Raymond. 28th, Raj Manjipudi. If I ever correct that. Was that correct?
Mangipudi.
I knew I messed it up. I was like, I've said this all last year the wrong way. I'm trying to get it. So Mangipudi. 29th place will be James Robbins. And then 30th place, Ron Harrington. And then the last row, 31st, Anthony Emmerich and Kenny Heath, which I do believe is on track tonight. So 32 trucks, Dustin. Huge field for Auto Club. I'm loving this.
Yeah, huge field. You know, love seeing these big fields out here for the Global Racing League Truck Series. And for this track, too. I mean, these guys are going to put on an excellent show. Question of the night is, we missed the Daytona race due to hardware technicalities. Got that fixed in time for the Atlanta race. We've had 2 races, 2 different winners. J.J. McCoy took the season opener at Daytona. Jacob Grant in the 19 took the race win last week at Atlanta. So the question raises, are we going to see our first repeat winner, or are we going to see our third new winner for this season 7?
We will find out in 100 laps or 200 miles, however you want to look at that. Good shot off of turn 3 into the turn 4, and then we're going to get this thing fired off. Watch the 2, 3, maybe even a 4 wide start here to this race, as these drivers are trying to maybe had a bad qualifying effort and need to quickly make some ground up. We will see some passes here early. Who knows? Pace car's about to dip down to 13. Stephen Hayes about ready to get this Dale Brooks Classic 200 underway. Waiting for the green flag to fly. 3, 2, 1. And there we go. Green flag is out. Great start here as they get the 3rd gear. No lane shifting till they get to the start-finish line. Looks like the leaders do abide by that rule. We get a nice zoomed-in shot here of the front couple rows into turn 1. Looks like 2 wide all the way through here, potentially 3 wide in the 2nd to 3rd row. Looks like the 89 Mantle cannot hold that. The number 1, Wicked Loose here, door contact. Justin LeBlanc to the inside as he's going to hold that inside lane there as they get off into turn number 3, Dustin.
Yeah, again, cold tires there, just a little wobble in contact between the 1 of Michael Hayes and the 35 of Blake Tidwell. So those drivers able to get that squared away, and now we're starting to see the 2x2. But you look further back and you can see how much track and real estate these drivers have to use at their disposal, and they fan out going into the corners. They use every lane, whatever their setup is tuned to, whatever they're used to driving or feel comfortable driving. This is what it's all about. The issue here, though, is we see 3 wide. That's Jacob Grant down low. That's going to be the 76 of David Holsey. That goes back to 2 wide real fast. We've seen those 2 at Atlanta duke it out quite a bit as both drivers led a good amount of laps last week at Atlanta. But the issue is coming off of the corner exits. Slide jobs are easily done here just because of the configuration of the track, but you got to be careful to make sure you're clear, not to pinch or pancake up into that wall, because Jeremy, this track, it is so easy just off of the sheer momentum these drivers carry through the corner.
Yeah, there's so much speed to be had here. If you're hitting the wall at any aerodynamics will be affected, and they play such a huge part in these trucks as there are already bricks driving through the air, so you don't want to add any more drag to these things if you don't have to. Couple laps into the books here. 13 still leading the way over Jeremy Richmond in the 98. The number 1, Michael Hayes, already up 3 positions from 6th to 3rd. Running his truck a little bit more on the loose side. The top 10 all single file. Looks like you go 2 by 2 back. About 12th place here as they're trying to sort it out. Number 25, Abram Ghostin. Looking at the inside of the 64, Danny White. Trying to make that pass completion here through turns 1 and 2. 78, John Howard gets a little tight on corner exit, has to back it down. Looks like he might get passed here by, it looks like the number 19. That would be Jacob Grant as he goes far to the inside, followed by Don Blazier in the number 11.
Yeah, and the thing is, Jeremy, right now, these tires, as we're working lap 4 of 100, they're just now getting up to temp. They're just now getting up to pressure. So these drivers are going to feel really good. But as this run goes on, it's not going to be the same. These tires are going to get heated. There's going to be wear. 3 wide right now. That's going to be Grant down below. You're going to have the 64 of Danny White in the center. And then that's going to be John Howard up top. That gets sorted out. But as the run goes on, they're going to wear in. It's going to get a little bit more difficult. And the fuel run right now, your pit window, 34 to 38 laps, Jeremy. So we at least have 2 green flag stops that are going to have to be done in order to make it to the end of tonight's race. And those are going to be ever crucial too, because we know pit road penalties can be devastating.
Yep, track speed is about 180, 190. Pit road, 55. So that's going to be a huge discrepancy in speed. You don't want to have a penalty if you don't have to. Speeding or a fraction of not entering the pit road correctly does result in a 40-second hold, which is an entire lap around this 2-mile facility here. Looks like getting still pretty racy back here, just around the 10th place area as they go single file. As soon as I say that there, full field looking to be single file until you get to maybe about 16th to 18th place, somewhere in that ballpark. We'll still see one group of trucks side by side here in turns 1 and 2. That's going to be the 14, Clayton White there, or 74 rather. That's not. They almost go 3 wide. I thought I saw 1. It is indeed a 7. That is Dustin Franklin on the inside of Don Blazier, who's looking to fall back a spot or 2 this lap.
Yeah, and the racing back there getting hard and heavy, and the race up front getting hard and heavy. As you were talking about the action right around that 10th to 15th position, Stephen Hayes in the 13, Jeremy Richmond in the 98 were side by side, but Hayes was able to hold off that advanced run on the outside and pull back to the lead there. But now we got battling going on. That's going to be between the 1 of Mike Hayes, the 14 of Clayton White. They're side by side. A little bit of contact. Clayton White is loose. He's down on the apron, able to collect it back up and rejoin, but he's going to rejoin in 10th. Going to be outside the top 10 as John Howard has that run and speed on that high side.
From 4th to 11th or 12th here, as he's finally regrouped up to speed here. Falls in line right in front of last week's winner, Jacob Grant, the 19, as he beats Jacob Grant barely to the line there. So that's going to be a huge amount of loss there. About 2 seconds worth of ground loss to the race leaders is the 14 of Clayton White. Looking on back to the front here a little bit. Looseness by Bob Mantle in the 89 tries to stay off the number 1 of Michael Hayes. He's going to get loose, slide the thing, fall back in line right behind the number 1 here. And I was just going to say things are getting a little racy in the back, but they're also getting racy in the front. Look at the line there on the outside, the 35. Blake Tidwell starts this thing off on the 4th lane, drives it down to the 3rd lane. Great launch off corner exit. Clears the 22 of McCoy. Can make the effort on the 89 if possible, but it looks like he's going to maintain in line.
Yeah, and I mean, for good reason, too. That puts 3 Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers nose to tail, that being Mantle, Tidwell, and McCoy. But, yeah, I mean, Mantle had to back out. That was almost identical to what happened between Clayton White and Michael Hayes. And that was what I was talking about, Jeremy. These trucks carry so much speed that they naturally just want to go up on corner exit towards that wall. The issue is sometimes that space is occupied by another driver.
Yeah, 100% here is still single file now back through the race leaders. Still a couple of side-by-sides here, about 10th place or so. We're going to take this quick moment here to shout out one of our partners, since we do have the time to do so. A long-running partner, not only for us, but also a full season of the Global Racing League Truck Series. None other than Icon Apparel Company. And these guys, we've shouted them out. They're underneath a new name from last year. If you joined our broadcast last year for this league, then now the new name is Icon Apparel Company. And if you want your team to look stylish, feel comfortable while racing, or, you know, any type of sport. If you have a school sport like softball, baseball, if you got a racing team like this on the e-sports side of things, get your custom one-of-kind jerseys printed out from this group of people, and you will not regret it. Great discounts too. Super Nerd's going to save you 25% off, and you can get embroidered hats. You can get racing gloves. You name it, they got it. So it's going to be iconapparelcompany.com. Again, Super Nerd at checkout. It's going to save you 25% off. One of the best discounts you can find on the internet today.
Absolutely, and as you were shouting out, an amazing partner for both Nerditudes and Global Racing League. Had a near scare moment there for the 25 of Abram Ghostin as they went 3 wide. A little bit of door contact between himself and the 64 Danny White, and Abram had to go way low down on the apron and collect it back up. Lost a position or two, but was able to maintain. So, you know, we're seeing the cons to this track. You know, you add in the speed like that, but you also factor in the handling of this track. You know, you have to drive this track. It's not like a Daytona Talladega where you just go fast, turn left, and just stay off other drivers. These trucks get loose. You have to work these trucks. You have to work the throttle through the corners. It just it doesn't stick like it does a super speedway. So you're starting to see that as it is right now, and it's been on corner exit, Jeremy. That was right on corner exit down the backstretch when that happened in 3 wide situations. So it's getting pretty tough.
Yeah, and you're starting to see more and more these lanes being used on the top, on the bottom, playing the long run here. 14 laps into the books, so when they cross the line, JJ McCoy was on the top of 1 and 2. Now he's going to dive it underneath the 1 with all that momentum he received off the corner exit. Clears the number 1 there, Michael Hayes. Now looks directly to the number 2 of Brody Marinko, who holds P3, the last podium spot out of the top 3. Keeps it on the inside, maybe makes a charge at it. We'll see here. Brody Marinko's going to run it low, so he's going to take that little run potential away. But now watch the number 1, Michael Hayes. All of a sudden, he's got the extra grip on that truck. Looks like he's a little bit slower than the 22, Dustin, but that grip there on the upper lanes, keeping him in place.
Yeah, and he's actually cleared him to a degree. He was completely clear of the 22, but elected to stay in that second groove. But that's what that high line does. You can wind it up a lot more as long as you don't have somebody come up and slide job you, and you can maintain that lane up there. You've got the speed. The bad news is it burns the tires up a little bit faster than what it does on the low line. We all know how iRacing's coding works. Speed equals tire wear. And up on that top side, you maintain a higher speed as the one drifts up and loose. Good save. Brings it right back down in front of the 35 of Tidwell. Tidwell seen it happening and was able to do it. The 22 of McCoy jumps low, trying to go by the 2 of Brody Marinko. Marinko tried a little bit of a block, but McCoy just continued pulling it down. Now McCoy will clear for that 3rd position.
And I thought Marinko right there was going to clip the front end of the 89 on corner entrance to turn 3. 89 is going to go up and use some side draft, door-to-door contact. He does make contact with him, trying to get all the speed he can off the side draft of the number 2. They're going to run the 3rd and 4th lane. McCoy's going to run the 5th lane continuous here. The 89's a little loose. Going to give that spot up to the number 2. This place is getting really racy all the way through here. 16 and a half laps into the books for the Dale Classic 200. We're going to kick it to our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
And welcome live back underneath caution this time. We were going to kick it over to a great spoiler camera for you guys, but a little bit of spoiler in that sense. It looks like maybe the 14 Clayton White and the 76 here of David Holsey, and there it is. Contact midway down the back straightaway, headed to turn number 3. This is going to involve 4 trucks. The 85 there, Justin LeBlanc, the number 1 of Michael Hayes, as Dustin, they just crowded each other up there midway down the backstretch.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this track. I mean, you're trying to get side draft here. You see the 14 comes up a little bit and then stops, comes up, but then the 76 comes down. They just kind of meet in the middle. They're trying to maximize that side draft, and unfortunately, the 2 trucks just came together. There you see the wall contact with the 14 of Clayton White. Justin LeBlanc gets a piece of it. Michael Hayes, though, able to get around that. We're going to have to take an onboard with Michael Hayes because, man, that was close. And, Jeremy, what better way than the Oakley visor cam? What do you say about that?
Oakley visor cam engaged, as we're going to go on board the number 1. See what his helmet camera had to say about this crowdedness here. The 76, David, just crowding a little too much on the 14.
Woo-hoo!
Boom, and there's the wheel work on the Oakley visor camera. You see all the hand motion there, hard left. Make sure he doesn't spin out by correcting himself. Job well done there from the number 1, Mr. Michael Hayes.
Yeah, that could have been way, way worse on that one, but good heads-up driving there. And, I mean, that's that split-second reaction that's needed, Jeremy. I mean, these drivers, when we say they have split seconds, not even full seconds in order to get things done, that's exactly what we're talking about is, I mean, the reaction time of these drivers is at times just superhuman.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to put it for sure. And it's like a natural racing instinct too. It's you see when you're watching on TV, you're like, man, how do you do it? But then when you're in the moment, you're focused in like that. Like there's just some things that when you do in sim racing, like wreck avoidance, you just know what happens. You know how physics work sometimes. You just know where to correct. And number 1 flawlessly executed that motion to stay away from the wreck there from those other 3 drivers on the back straightaway. And we're going to reset some things now. Maybe we'll get that spoiler camera up sooner than later. Who knows? But we're going to take our time to shout out another one of our partners since we're underneath this caution break here currently on lap 23. Shout out Dusty Pete Skips and Collectibles. It's a hobby store with a whole lot more, based out of New York. And they have many things nerdy to up your nerddom. Thousands of comic books. action figures, collectible cards from all sorts and varieties, including your top favorites like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and many more, and NASCAR stuff, because they do sponsor the esports world here on iRacing. So they do hold some NASCAR collectibles, 124 and 164. So if you're not like a true nerd, if you're just a NASCAR nerd, they got something for you too. So head yourself to dustypete's.com. Super Nerd, of course, is our checkout code. This time we'll save you 15% off your online purchase of $20 or more. And that's at dustypete's.com.
Yeah, NASCAR nerd is a thing. I mean, you could be a nerd of anything, and that's the great thing about Nerditudes is we just love anybody that can nerd out about something that you are passionate about. That's what we're talking about. And every one of these drivers here is passionate about two things. One, racing and going fast, and two, kicking cancer's ass. And that's what tonight's race is all about, the Dale Brooks Classic 200. You see a lot of the paint schemes out there. We did say that there was going to be a little profanity, more so than what we would typically see. And there was a couple trucks that caught my attention. That one right there, Danny White, says F cancer on the hood. This is the one race that the rules were lifted for profanity on the trucks as long as it was going against the big C.
What's your profanity?
That's what they've told me. So here we are. Green flag is back out. This thing is underway on lap 25. We are 1/4 completed of this 200-mile race for the Dale Brooks Classic 200. Green flag 22 takes the lead over the 89 of Bobby Mantle. The 13 of Stephen Hayes, your big loser on that notion, was leading this race by over a second. Caution comes out, and now the 13 finds himself in 4th place. Has passed some trucks here. He started first. He led every single lap, and now he's going to figure out what his truck feels like in traffic for the first time.
Yeah, and it can feel way different as well, but that's what these drivers do. That's how they use the corners, Jeremy, is they try to get out of the draft wake, so to speak, because if you get in the draft too much, it's going to affect the handling of your truck. It could take the weight off the truck. It can put too much weight on the truck, and it can get tight. It can get loose. So that's another reason why, I mean, the style track that Auto Club was is something that is near and dear to my heart because it allows the drivers to really drive it. It's, the only track that we really have that's like that anymore is a track configuration that was very similar to that of Auto Club, and that's Michigan. These tracks here are a rare gem, so to speak, as we got 3 wide action right now. Tidwell down low. That looked like Marinko in the center. It looked like Hayes. Ooh, contact into the wall. That was going to be Marinko and Grant up on the top side. So, again, fresh tires, drivers, very racy, Jeremy.
They're all so close and buttoned up. The domino effect plays a big role sometimes. And Jeremy Richmond in the 98 skims the outside wall, and everybody else just following in line doesn't realize how close he is to the wall. They wash up with him to stay behind the truck for maximum draft. And they also hit the wall just a little bit harder. And really from the number 2, Brody Marinko, slammed that outside wall on corner exit turn 4. So that's the touching point that Dustin talked about before we flew the green flag here. 27 laps ago. And I was watching a couple of trucks. They're getting loose for last week's winner, Jacob Grant in the 19. He was one of them. He slid through turn 4 right before that wall contact had been had. And you're going to see a lot of trucks, Dustin, doing the same thing here. Tires are up the temp finally, but if they're running a little bit more on the edge, you're going to find a lot of slip and sliders here early.
Yeah, and not only early, but even later too, Jeremy. So, I mean, if it's starting to slip and slide now and your tires are up to temp and up to pressure, how is that going to play a factor when it comes later in the race? It's all depending on setup and driver preference. Are these trucks going to plow? Are they going to get very tight through the corner? Are they going to get loose through the corner? We got more wall contact. That's going to be back around Brad Miner and Steve Knight. I think Brad Miner got in the wall a little bit, checked up Stephen Knight. He had to take evasive action down to the low side.
Oh, we got a wreck here. Turn 1, the number 1, Michael Hayes, hard on the outside wall, brings John Howard in the 78 with him as he kind of T-bones him into the wall. And I think it would have just contact the 78. John Howard just drives it a little bit harder into the corner. And it's going to bring out our second caution here on lap 29. You're going to see it right here on the lower half of your screen. 78 all over the back bumper. When they get to corner exit, the one's going to lift a little bit more to get to the inside. John's not going to recognize it, just turns him. And then we're going to just T-bone effect, bam, and watch the 76 gets a little bit of that in there as well. 74, does he get involved? Yep, he's going to tag the 76 here. 4 trucks involved in this wreck on lap 29.
Heavy impact into the outside retaining wall for the number 1. That was a hard lick. We're going to go and take another look at it here, see what exactly went on. Like you said, it just, it was one of those, there was no room for error. John Howard was all over the back, just had no room to know when that lift was going to happen. There you see the lift, and there's the contact. And that, folks, is all she wrote. It's going to slam the 78 in. You're going to see the 76 get contact right there, buckled the front nose up a little bit. But the heavy contact out of all 3 of them is going to be this man right here, driver of the number 1. That's going to be Michael Hayes.
The 76, actually, when he made contact, that was David Holsey. He made contact with the 74 there on the bottom, and he washed up and hit the wall too. He lost the left front fender piece on his Union 76. So 2 trucks with a decent amount of damage out of this wreck here on lap 29. As you see, about half the field on pit road getting one of those sets of tires. You talked about it, Dustin. You have 3 sets of tires behind the wall. These guys coming in, if they're changing tires, that's going to be 2 sets potentially within the first 30 laps. So this is the game of guessing how many cautions this race will have. Is we going to go green flag the rest of the way? Or are we going to have plenty more cautions? This is where you start to play the gamble effect. You might have the advantage now, but will you have the advantage later?
Yeah, and that's where the pit strategy comes in. Jeremy, if I was a bet man, I'd say that a number of the drivers that were coming in, if they changed tires last pit stop, I would suspect that these are just fuel-only pit stops just to give them a little bit of an edge to allow them to stretch that out as much as possible. They only had about 5 laps or so on these tires after they got up to temp. So, I mean, tire wear, not that much. I don't know, maybe some of them could have gambled and just taken left sides or right sides. More than likely, probably right sides. But again, that still limits them to only 1 set of right side tires only. So within the top 3 tiers of NASCAR here, this being one of them in the trucks, the tire limits are by sides. So you can change left sides only and still have 3 sets of right sides, but only 2 sets of left ready to go. So a lot of gamble, a lot of strategy, Jeremy, and that's what makes this so interesting and so fun, because up here in the booth, we have to try to call it and see how it goes, and we watch it unfold right along with everybody else.
That's a great notation to make. You can come down 6 times, change only 2 tires each time. You kind of feel like you have a better truck, and you can, preserve the other side. So that's a great touching point there. I'm going to shout out another one of our partners before we go back to Green Flag. This time, I'm looking on my Apple Music app, Dustin. Spring Fever Band. I usually don't shout them out as far as like a shout out. Usually you run the commercial break for them, but they have a new piano version out, so it's kind of cool. You have a softer / sometimes it's a little bit harder rock band here. They don't have a great library list of music, but what they do have is really good music. So they're newer to the scene in comparison to some of the other rock bands, and they just play really well with different versions of their songs. Now, you have rock music in piano form, so if you're into that, which might be pretty sweet, actually, check out Spring Fever Band across all your streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, you got it. They have it listed. And Shattered Paradise is one of their new ones. We play New World on our intros here on
Got
their
a
TV.
new album. They're in the studio. New album due to be released in spring.
So there you go. Spring Fever releasing in spring. Who would have thunk that one? Check them out. Spring Fever Band anywhere you stream music. Now, Dustin, we're going back to Green Flag here. Lap 33. We'll find the green flag flying. Pace car's about to dip down. Last broadcast, my brother said, retire that old Mustang. Well, this session they got it right. It's the new car that's unlabeled. But we're going green flag. The 22 going to restart in first. 89 to the outside in second. Dust, I saw this, but I didn't notate this road. Ghost Motorsports has all new, Grim Reaper has all new paint schemes. They're Yellow, white, and black combinations. Every truck has a different color combination, but it's completely different from their black schemes with the colors, last year.
And it is. And you missed it last week, Jeremy, because you were spending time with the family, as is ever
Oops.
important.
Out of
But
state.
the 89 of Bobby Mantle was actually running a John Deere scheme. His dad is, big into John Deere. And that was something that he said he's going to be rocking. Obviously, tonight he's rocking a special paint scheme for the special race tonight, but definitely something to keep in mind on that there. Something else, Jeremy, that we have really been trying to do is the Caffeine Team, presented by Brez Coffee Company, driver cams. And the only one that we have on tonight is Joshua Raymond, as he is on. We did have Anthony Emmerich, but I think Anthony Emmerich, he is slotted off the lead lap, but he was only giving us a feet shot. So I think he was getting prepped to show you the footwork that you guys will probably be seeing next week at Circuit of the Americas.
I love this here. This man, I think, was hitting the vape pen on the back straightaway. If I could have been wrong there, it looked like he made that motion, and then he's doing 190 mile an hour doing that too. You got time on the back straightaway, I guess, if you have a good, comfortable truck. And you see him; he's laser focused. He's got his gaming goggles on. He is all about this thing. You see the eyes. This is one thing to notate too. Drivers don't blink. If you don't tell yourself to blink, you don't.
You don't.
Like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen his eyes closed one time. Good thing he's got some blue blocking lenses in those things. But see, he is so focused. We're 2 laps in. He has not blinked one time. And this is what Caffeine Team is all about here. Taking a look at the drivers in real time. I like this new camera setup for our UI overhaul in 2025. And yeah, great camera angle by Brez Coffee Company.
Absolutely. And yeah, he did hit the vape pen. You know what? A man after my own heart, because I do the exact same thing when running Daytona Talladega. A lot of times I will be one-handing it going down the stretch. Unless it's 3 wide, but yeah, we're very innovative on when we find stuff to do. But again, that is our Caffeine Team, presented by Brez Coffee Company, as we are under a caution again. This is our 3rd caution of the evening, so let's take a look and see exactly what happened here.
Dustin Clayton White again. It's 2 for 3 on these cautions on the back straightaway, and we have a blowover from the number 4 liftoff from the 4 truck, and he's going to go flying here. That's James Robbins, for those who don't know that name at this point. And we're going to go down the back straightaway. The 14 gets a great run, goes to the bottom, and then the 4 just decided to go with him, and a little blowover effect there. Good thing there's no suspension damage in this simulation, so I don't think there's much damage to be had on the 4, maybe some underbody work, but Clayton went part of the 2nd caution, or 2 of 3 for himself here tonight.
Yeah, and that was just 2 drivers bidding for the same real estate. You see the move on the inside there. Clayton White got a little close, and unfortunately enough, that's going to send the 4 all tires off the ground, but was able to maintain, brings it back down. Jeremy, I mean, everything considering that he almost went on his lid, that truck looks like it's in really good shape. I think the 4 of Robbins is going to be all right on this one here. I mean, he was able to woe it back down, but it looks clean.
Yeah, just a little damage to the left rear. You see it there, a little scratch on the taillight area. And that could have just been from the contact between the 14, not necessarily the ground. But not too many times you can say you have flipped over, or not flipped over, at least caught air and, not have any damage afterwards. Unless, of course, you're that 13 of Stephen Hayes. Last year at Bristol, this man rolled the truck over and damn near won the race.
Got a top 5 out of it, too. That's why you and I love that Whataburger truck.
Yeah, that just sparked our conversations last year. Bring that scheme back, because that was my favorite moment of 2024, was watching someone roll over and still finish inside the top 5. I enjoyed that.
Oh, 100%. And that's why you tune into these, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can have the most, for lack of a better sense, scripted race possible. But man, those last 10 laps, you can throw that quote unquote script out the window because stuff happens that you wouldn't even foresee coming. You know, last season at Bristol, if you would have sat here and told me that a truck was going to flip over and was going to be literally on their lid and still come back and finish top 5, that would not have been on my bingo card for that race at all. And that's the type of racing these guys do. They have that no quit attitude that just they keep on driving. As long as that truck does it and starts up, they're going to keep trying. I mean, very similar to Dale Sr. after he rolled, man. He crawled back in, fired it back up, and he drove it to pit road. You know, that's the mentality these drivers have.
The number 14 playing white was responsible for that wreck. They sent him to the EOL, end of longest line. So there goes the 14. We're stacking them up. That means we're going to go green flag in 1 lap. So we start this race on lap 40. That'll be 61 laps to go when we do get that flag. And Dustin, I got one more time for another sponsor shout out since, we got a moment here. And our partners at iRacing iFlag, you see their logo, every caution, up on the top right-hand side of your screen right now, blinking. These guys have a great 3D printed, fully customized LED display, 64 LEDs, displays up to 30 iRacing notifications. Car high, car low, you suck, you got the meatball, or you got the blue flag with the yellow line. It's going to display it to you in a bright fashion to really let you know that you're not doing well. It does so much more too. Completes the sim rig. You can custom 3D print your number, your team logo, your name on this thing, and you can choose the color between the base and also choose the color of the casing of the LED display itself. So head over to iRacingIFlag.com. Super Nerd again. It's going to be your promo code. 15% off your purchase from the guys at iRacing iFlag. Jeff Brown will appreciate your visit to the website. Dustin, pace cars down. We're going back to green flag, baby. Here we go. 22 for the third restart is going to lead this field once again. And, well, I thought lane shifting wasn't a thing. We're 3 wide at the line. These guys are scattering real quick.
Yeah, and speaking of appreciation, too, I want to give a shout out to the 23 concurrent live viewers out there and give the appreciation to you guys joining in and enjoying the race in action that these fine drivers here are putting on. So again, much appreciation to you guys. Love and respect. If you want to be part of the stream, shout out. We love bringing you guys into it.
Yep, 100%. And I appreciate you guys listening through my voice. I'm a little under the weather here, so it sounds like I'm not doing too hot, but it's okay. We're doing this thing, and we're feeling good right now. Late in the going here, 7:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I'm sitting. Dustin on the Central Coast, the inferior time zone here. As we're watching these guys go 2 by 2. Shout out to Dustin for that. As we go in the 2 wide or 3 wide potentially here. Looks like between 2 different rows. They go back quickly to 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Oh, one truck there in the white and red scheme from Old Boys Racing. Or Old Dogs Racing. There we go.
Brad Miner.
Number 79, Brad Miner, in all new colors.
Yeah, we got to learn all new colors and schemes. We got new drivers. So, again, if we butcher a name, sorry, Raj, on that one there. But we got it fixed. We got Mangy Pooty now. So, if we butcher a name, we apologize. If we sit here and flip-flop a name and a number, we apologize. Hey, we're human too. We got to learn everything all over again. You see the 4 there coming back out. That was Farrell Robbins after his rollover, getting his damage done. He's going to be off of the lead lap now. So he's going to try to rejoin here, try to minimize the amount of damage it was done. But, Jeremy, with the way that this racing's going, and we got a battle right now for that lead spot. Stephen Hayes up on that top side trying to get around the 22 of J.J. McCoy, Jeremy. And Stephen Hayes has been rocking that high side like crazy. And we've been waiting to break this out. You've seen how close he was. Now, early in the run, he doesn't get as close. But if we can get towards the end of a run prior to green flag pit stops, you're going to see a number of these trucks are going to be this close to the wall all the way through the corners.
It had a little bit of contact there off turn 2 as you rode on the spoiler camera. I had to go back and look at that. There it is. Look at that. About a half a truck length separates himself between the blue and white paint there off the outside wall of turn 3 and 4. Gets right to the back bumper. You see the Grim Reaper logo barely through the windshield of 13 on that rear spoiler. Now it looks like he's going to stay slightly in line, just a half a nose length to the outside. Gets a little downforce to the nose, which is crucial to make the truck turn when you're trying to get the draft at the same time. Gets him a decent run down the back straightaway. Maintains in line. 3 wide, potentially a little bit further back. They go to 2 wide, get into the corner. And there's the 35, Blake Tidwell. One of the few drivers in the third lane right now.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers are starting to test what's going on right now. And Jeremy, that third line is it's so welcoming to drivers because it doesn't have very much traffic up there right now. So these drivers can really lay it out there and really let the truck wind up and not get kind of blocked and backed up on that first and second and third lane. So that's why you see a number of these drivers doing it. And if you look, Jeremy, the drivers that are going up there are typically the drivers that are slowly moving forward because they don't have that traffic to deal with right now.
Now, a little crowdedness, right? Ooh, a little checkup from the 98, Jeremy Richmond. Oh, contact maybe to be had there between the 71 and the 74. The 98 now getting passed by the 44, Mark Sherwood on the outside, at least trying to make the effort. 74 backs it down just a little bit. Mark backs it up, and now it's going to open the door for a couple other guys to maybe make a pass effort here, like the 72, the Pink Cancer Old Dogs Ford F-150 here, back down to the very long, bumpy back straightaway here. Pretty clean, getting to turn 3 this time. Look at this, Dustin. There's not too many tracks for every single corner. Things just fan out over and over and over. I love this track, and it's just, oh, contact, 72 into the 79 there. That's Jonathan Gaston, 72. Stephen Knight in the 79, slight door contact, and oh, there's a discrepancy, and they both turn themselves. Watch out. Oh, man, a huge contact, the 20, the 85. Your fourth caution the night is out, and it is up to the 79 and the 72 to, well, there's a little issue here on the front straightaway is just trying to figure out who's contacting who.
Yeah, and that was tough because that was right at corner entry where that happened. So that high line trying to arc it down, that's a tough one. It really is. We're gonna have to take it, and that right there was the hardest hit. Justin LeBlanc, 50-50 grinding the safer barrier there all the way around. I think he took probably one of the hardest hits on that one, Jeremy, and that truck probably not in the greatest of conditions right now after everything was said and done. But we're going to do a little VHS rewind on this. And we're going to go back because this started out of the previous corner, Jeremy, is where it actually took place at. So it... yeah.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, contact was made as they were coming out. You're going to see contact right here, and that's Stephen Knight. Oh, yeah. He might have been a little bit of an overcorrection to stay off the wall as he was close, but contact was made. They dove it down, and right here going into the next corner, Jeremy. And yeah. That's close. It almost looks like the 79 of Stephen Knight was coming down. If you look at that groove line, that black line that was right next to the 72. But again, with the camera angles we have, it's tough. I mean, that was close racing, and this is the product of it. Unfortunately, every once in a while.
Yeah, I think that was more of an honest mistake. I think the turn 4 thing, you see the 85 going up on the wall, the 20 as well, it just T-bones the crap out of him. That's Joshua Raymond. He goes washing back down to the inside. I think the turn 4 exit was not a part of that turn 1 contact, to be honest. I saw the 72, Jonathan, he goes up the track about a half a lane or so, and then the 79, Stephen Knight, doesn't recognize that movement, and he sets himself up for the corner and drives it down a little bit after the 72 moves up. And so, that's just, like you said, it's tough. I don't know who they're going to put the blame on that one. They haven't not officially put out a EOL penalty. They might just chalk it up to racing deal. Let's see what the admins have to talk about and see what they post here.
All I can say is that's why I'm glad that we just call the races, Jeremy. We just sit here and put on a production and call the races. We're not admins. So, you know what? Anything that we say and how we see it is just purely how we are watching it on the screen along with you guys. We have the same camera angles. We don't have a special screen behind the scenes. It gives us different camera angles so we can sit here and make it. We're calling it off the exact race that you guys are watching too. So we're just we just try to break it down for you guys, but ultimately it's the admin's call on that one. And Jeremy, I would hate to be an admin in that one because that'd be a tough one. You know, I'm like you. It seems like, you know, the 79 came down, but that's because he didn't register that the 72 had come up a little bit, so he was just prepping for the corner. It's a tough call.
Don't be an admin if you can't make the tough calls. But who do you call? I don't know. Not courtesy. That was a joke.
Not sorry. Ghostbusters either.
Not Ghostbusters either. Yeah, there you go. Pace car lights are off. Dad jokes are worse when you're sick. Let me tell you. There's no punchline to be had. Awkward is my specialty, and here we are. As you guys are catching up to the pace car side by side. On the chat, so I'm seeing YouTube. 27 is the current live viewers, just on YouTube alone. So highest number I've seen all night personally.
Much love, much love.
Much love, yeah, very much appreciated. And, the flip of the coin, chats are quiet. Shane Howard a while ago, so good luck drivers. We appreciate that. And then Holmesy saying, let's go GRM, Grim Reaper Motorsports.
Because they're watching the action, Jeremy. They're watching the action, my man.
4 cautions. Get those keyboards lit up. Let's see them. Wake them up here. And, see if we can't have some fun on that side. The 72, Jonathan Gaston, receiving the EOL penalty, deemed at fault for the 4th caution here this evening. The official word in as they cross the line for the 1 to go signal. Just saw that come across my prompter here. But we're going to see a new person on the front row in the 98, Jeremy Richmond. Started second, and then it's been J.J. McCoy leading this thing up to this point. But now the 98 gets his chance to try to see what he can do on this restart. Pace car down, restarting on lap 51. We are officially halfway done with this race. Green flag is out. And here we go. One more pit stop if we go green the rest of the way. 3 wide early. See what happens here as they get to turn 1.
That was close quarters there. That was Stephen Hayes down low, McCoy in the middle. And man, who was that? The 57, Ron Harrington on the top side. That was close there on that start. And they're still having a little door contact down the backstretch here as they're just trying now to get it wound up. You see the 35, Tidwell dives it low, 3 wide situation again as he looks to the inside of the 2 of Brody Marinko. 57 of Harrington still holding on there. Harrington up 23 spots, currently in 7th right now, as you see the 19 of Jacob Grant, last week's winner, now to his inside, trying to make that pass. And Jeremy, like you said, past halfway, these drivers know the time is starting to slowly run out, but we still have at least 1 green flag pit stop. If they stay green the rest of the way, every driver's at least going to have to stop one more time. Remember, pit window is only 34 to 38 laps-ish. Again, we say ish because depending on how easy you are on the throttle, how much you can save fuel. Oh, man. Slide job move there by the 73. That's Jeffrey Wimmer right in front of the 74 of Dustin Franklin. And contact made. That was going to be between Franklin and Harrington on that one. Every driver still able to maintain, but man, Jeremy, this is getting close.
57 gets the worst out of that exchange. The 74 comes up into the 57's door there. And, yeah, little accidental contact. Backed up the 57 about 3 or 4 truck lengths here as they fan back out. Contact between, what was that, 2nd and 3rd place, McCoy and Richmond. Having a battle right now on this last lap. Let's see if they continue it down here into turn 1. Looks like 91's going to fall, or 98's going to fall into line here with the pressure of Danny White and the 64 looking to the inside of 90. 98 loose. He's loose. He saves it. A little slide action there. Middle of the corner. Somehow he's going to maintain all the momentum with him, too. I'm surprised he's able to hang on to that.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see as a driver behind the 98. He was in that second line. And oh man, these trucks are just moving all over the place, but that's not what you want to see in that second line when you're 2x2 is the truck in front of you start to get loose because you got no exit plan down low because there's a truck down low and your exit plan up high. Typically these trucks wash up the track during an incident. So definitely a near miss on that one. But Jeremy, these trucks are moving around a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of really close slide jobs, Jeremy. And these drivers are skilled, but we know that even being off by just the slight amount, as we got 3 wide now. Grant down low, Danny White in the middle, Jeremy Richmond up top. That goes back to 2 wide. Grant takes a spot over White. Now sets the sights on Richmond.
64 Danny White washes up into Brody. Contact to the back bumper of the 35 as he runs into him, and they're going to keep it straight going here on the front straightaway, lap 56. Here's your current lap count right now into the Dale Brooks Classic 200. 2 wide again. This place is getting racy all over this facility. Close call there. 73 trying to wash up. That's Jeff Wimmer. Makes it with no contact. Down to turn 3 now, Dustin. Let's see what more action they can bring us right now.
Yeah, and these guys are definitely not holding back on that action. You see a good battle right now for that 5th spot. That's going to be Brody Marinko, Danny White. Marinko in the 2, Danny White in the black and pink 64. Those two have been duking it out. But right now, looks like Danny White is held up because there's a two wide battle for the 3rd position that's currently held by Jacob Grant. Richmond was trying to fight back. Richmond loses a lot there, and he's going to stack up that top line there. See a lot of drivers going way low on that one because Richmond looked like he got just a little loose.
Just a little bit here. And I see YouTube chat. I see Jeff saying, let's go Shane Wielden. That's the driver, the number 77. And then Brandy Loxton, head nerd in charge is what you like to call her. Saying, hey, that snack though. And, you know, my snack of choice right now is a meat lover's pizza from a local restaurant called Humpavelli's.
Oh.
So that is my snack of choice tonight.
If you can taste it right now, because with all the congestion you got going on, man.
Listen, I can only dream. I'm using AI to taste this thing, okay? It's going to fill in the other half of it for me. As the 20 truck, we saw him get past a couple laps ago. I'm just making a quick notation of him because he's running really slow and people are passing him 2-3 wide. He finally went through traffic. He's got an open track again, but he's very precautiously it's weird how he's staying on track really slow and yet being in the mix of all the other drivers. So let's see what happens as they catch back up to him. But we're going to go back to where the action is. Back to this 98. Look at this group. Oh, man, more contact. No, this is just such a good battle here, and it's for the 5th place.
Yeah, and normally our battles, Jeremy, like our hot spot is usually right around that 10th place. Or, 10th to, I would say, even 15th, right in that little pocket. But these drivers tonight for this top 5 position, I mean, look at this. Almost 4 wide as they were coming off of there. Danny White a little loose as he's trying to do it, but still 3 wide. Looks like Bobby Mantle almost thought about going 4 for a hot second. Oh, contact made. That's between Danny White and Blake Tidwell. Danny White slides up and collects 2 more on that one. Oh, almost a near save. That's going to bring out our 5th caution. And Harrington, oh my gosh.
We need Oakley camera on him pronto.
Most definitely, but we're going to bring you what happened on this one, Jeremy. And man, just that close race and almost a save, too, after the contact between Danny White and Blake Tidwell on that.
This was a storm that was brewing for 5 to 10 laps consecutive, and it finally came to an end with the contact of the 64, the Danny White, the 35 of Blake Tidwell. The 64 just comes back down when the 35 was setting up for the corner, and then just 2 trucks trying to get in the same real estate. Obviously, physics don't let you do that. And the 64 almost corrects it and has a little slip up here. And I thought the 70 or the 21 was going to be pretty good here, but then at the very end when the wall came up, made heavy contact, and then Mark Sherwood in the 44, nowhere to go, bam. There's the contact. The 21 gets jacked up there pretty good. Now watch this camera. You're going to see this green truck with the massive amount of ARCA brakes and somehow misses everything.
Yoing.
right there through the top. I don't commend him for the ARCA break, but I commend him for able to find the gap and to not hit anybody.
And
That made a
on
sweet
this one
camera angle
here,
here.
Jeremy, I mean, it's Blake Tidwell. I mean, you see Danny White is going up the track. Blake Tidwell is as well. It looked like Blake came up a little bit more from the angles that we have. I mean, all the drivers are just trying to set up that entry arc into the corner. But, I mean, there's not much that Danny White can do because he has a truck to the high side as it was 3 wide. So, I mean, it's tough all the way around when it comes to this. I mean, there's not a whole lot that the drivers can do. I mean, you have to arc it a certain way. You have to do things a certain way. And, man, that was tough. But, all right, we got to go back, Jeremy. We have to go back. We got to watch this 57 because, I mean, this thing, and like you said, we have to do it on the Oakley visor cam. There's no other way that we can do it besides the Oakley visor cam on this at full speed because this accident's happening right now. Going in, it's already happening. You see the trucks scattering as they're going on. He's still pegged at $7,000. He lets off a little bit for the corner, but he stays in it and boom! What a cut, man.
And he made that look easy, but at the same time, how is he supposed to know the Holy Grail is just supposed to open up right in the middle of his lane and just very naturally just drives through the wreck there at a,
if I could only be that lucky.
Our variance. Yeah, for real. We need some OP luck for Dustin on that kind of thing because, man, oh man, that's impressive stuff.
That was good. That was good. But I mean, here's the thing. You know, he's coming up on it. I mean, he did let off a little bit. You seen that his truck was at $7,000, 7,200 RPM, and it was down to like 64. But I mean, they were up top and they were sliding down the track. So the only thing he had down low was trucks and grass. And he's seen an opening at the very last split second and elected to hope that thing was still open by the time he was passing through. So what a good drive through there by the driver of the 57, Mr. Harrington.
Pace car lights are off. 1 lap to go. And this is going to give me yet another time to shout out another partner. And one that does not have a rotating commercial, I do believe, is going to be RaceEPA.com. That's Elite Performance Industries. If you don't have a setup from them yet, you need to go over there now. 2025, they have a new logo. So if that looks different on the bottom, that's because it's a new logo. And so if you're looking to not only pick up speed, but also feel comfortable and fast at the same time and collecting some checker flags for your win column, look no further. RaceEPI.com has your back. Wide variety of setups, great competitive pricing for competitive speed on the track, and you won't regret it. All these open setup drivers, head yourself over there right now to RaceEPI.com.
Yeah, and as the caution lights are off, Jeremy, we are on 1 to go. We are ticking down. These drivers are starting to run out of time. Time is their greatest adversary right now, on top of everything else, especially if they're further back in the field. But, Jeremy, with the amount of laps we have, I do believe that we are still going to have at least one more pit stop, depending on if it stays green or when the caution comes out. But remember, these drivers, they can save fuel. They can, try to do that. We have seen a number of them last season, Jeremy, where it was won on pit strategy and fuel mileage. As the green flag flies, 63 laps right now completed, working lap 64. So it's going to be close, Jeremy. It is going to be super close, but with the amount of laps right now, we are at 36 laps. That's right in the middle of the fuel run. So depending on how these drivers go, if they can go the rest of the way caution-free, you might see some drivers try to stretch it on strategy.
Yeah, you got to be planning for that right now. You might not want to race it because you're expecting the caution to continue to fly with how racy these guys are, but at the same token, what's the chance of it going green the whole way? So you got to plan for that regardless. At least I would be. So if I was up front, I may be back at 5th or 10th place, just kind of relaxing the throttle, relaxing the brake pedal, letting the truck do the coasting and saving where I can. But needless to say, I'm on this opening lap. It looks like still pretty racy overall. Second place side by side. You see a bunch of drivers side by side through this whole thing. There's your winner from last week, Jacob Grant, racing the winner from 2 weeks ago, J.J. McCoy at Daytona. They go single file now. Top 5 down the backstretch into turn 3.
Yeah, and these drivers, like I said, 30 after they complete this lap, 35 laps left in the Dale Brooks Classic 200. And these drivers, they're trying to make the moves right now. And you see J.J. McCoy trying to go to the outside of Stephen Hayes. This is for your race lead. Try to side draft. McCoy going to elect to stay in the 3rd lane. Hayes going to go down to the 1st lane. You see Jacob Grant in the 4th lane. And this is why I love this track, Jeremy. So many different lanes, choices, and styles of racing through the corners. It's different every single corner.
Every single time, does not matter the lap. The style of racing going on, it is just completely different. The 74 is going to wash up into the 2. Contact. 2 keeps it off the wall. Great driving there from number 2 and Brody Marico to not hit the outside wall. It's going to wash back the 74 quite a bit. He lost about 10 trunk lengths on that exchange. Separates the top 4 from everybody else. There's still 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back. Here's turn 1. You see the 22 right to that wall where we found him most of this race. The track lights are on as the sun's starting to set there on the turn 3 and 4 side.
Look at that run that J.J. McCoy got, wall riding it through 1 and 2.
Just, it's such a great line. If your truck can handle it, the grip up there is insane. And so you just got to watch out for that tire wear, but he's going to get draft snaked down the front straightaway here. And this is brewing to be a really good battle for the race lead right now.
Yeah, J.J. McCoy holds it. Last week, or week 1 race winner. Jacob Grant, last week's race winner right now, trying to chase him down, but now under pressure from the 13. Little bit of a slide up there from the 13 as they're really laying it out, but side by side down the back stretch there. Now the 13 on the inside has the 2 of Brody Marinko to the outside. So, Jeremy, this is where it's going to get tricky. These drivers are trying to move forward. They're trying to get the grip. And this is what I was talking about. As big as this track is, as much as draft plays a factor in it, passing can be difficult here. You can race side by side with somebody for 2, 3, 4 laps before you actually complete that pass.
Yeah, absolutely. You certainly can. And this track is very easy, but very hard to pass at the same time. You've already seen a bunch of trucks wash up, get loose, trying to make the pass on the inside. And it gets very challenging, especially when they're really dialed in. Just a quick mention, the number 5, Kenny Heath, was on the lead lap. He just came down pit road and backed out of tonight's event. So 2 trucks out of it entirely. So we still have 29 on the track as we speak on lap 70 now as they cross the line here. 31 laps to go. Remember, we already talked about them being in the fuel window, but these guys don't look like they're saving.
Oh, absolutely not. We're going to take to the Space Panda drone cam here. Take a look at these drivers. They are not saving at all, but the caution does come out. And Jeremy, this is going to kind of change things up a little bit. Do you come down and get your last one? If I was any of these drivers, I probably would. If you've got 1 set of tires left, now would be the time to really sit here and use them. Try to do what you can with them. Fill up fuel. You would be good to the end. But it's gonna, like I said, this is where we can see drivers really throw the strategy out. Maybe some will elect to stay out.
Yeah, we'll see here, but the caution, heavy contact between Raj Mangipudi and Ron Harrington, the 57. You see the contact there, turn 1, Calamity Corner here tonight, and he just gets full shipped UPS style, packaged deep into the wall there on the outside. And then Patrick Gettner with a pop-up wheelie on the front of that thing off the damaged 57 truck as he rebounds. Heavy contact there from number 57, Ron Harrington.
Yeah, that was tough. We're going to go on board. You're going to see Willie action here and just pow!
Man, look at that. His head was looking at the feet. Oh, good. Heavy impact. I love the head motion on this camera. Did not realize it was going to be moving up and down. So this Oakley visor cam is next level stuff.
Only the best for our viewers out there. Try to put you in the race in action. Try to see what it feels like to be a sim racer in today's next gen style simulation with iRacing. So it's definitely good. And Jeremy, looks like a lot of the drivers electing to come down
Yep.
pit road right now, and this is to be expected, coming down pit road the way that they are. So this will be, they will be able to make it on fuel. As long as they maintain, their tires will make it to the end. You know, but I could possibly see if we have another caution in a short amount of time, say within the next 10 laps, I could see some people gamble if they have an extra, you know, set or two down pit road, make their way down pit road to get fresh tires to try to make that bid to the end. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out.
Well, I do know since they're pitting that the heavy end of the racing, the most intense racing is yet to come. Fresh tires can make it on fuel, so there's no question there. So it's just now full stint to the end. But we're going to take our last picture-in-picture commercial break here. We'll be right back for the drop of the green flag.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Back to full screen action. We're about to go back to green flag racing on lap 74. This is going to be 27 laps to go from here to the end. Who's going to come out on top? The 72 Gaston leading the way with Jeremy Richmond on the outside. Pink and yellow versus pink and white. Here we go. 72 with a great launch. Early onto the gas pedal with the control of the restart. Makes the most sense here. Trucks five deep there on the outside trying to get some speed, but to get to turn number one, they're going to fan out right away. 98 stays to the top. The number 2 is going to join him on the top side here. The 72 washed up. Oh, the 2 hits the wall a little bit off turn 2 there, Dustin.
Yeah, a lot of speed carried through there, and that turn 2 wall sneaks up on you faster than some drivers expect. These trucks are resilient on the bodywork at times, so they can take a few licks on that outside wall, but you don't want to push your luck too much, as you see a lot of lane movement going on back there right around that 6th and 7th position. That was a 74 of Dustin Franklin trying to figure out which lane is going to be the lane moving forward. Jump behind the 98 of Jeremy Richmond and then pulled back up top. But right now, Jacob Grant, last week's winner, goes by the 72 along with J.J. McCoy and Stephen Hayes. These 3 drivers been duking it out all race long for that top spot. And right now, Jacob Grant leads the way. Stephen Hayes inside, side by side. Now 3 wide for that race lead coming off at turn 4. Hayes on the bottom. Grant in the middle, and McCoy up top.
3 wide for the race lead at the line. Dead heat. The 13 Stephen Hayes will get that lap there as we get the signal for 25 laps to go in the Dale Brooks Classic 200. 3 wide continue to happen in turn number 1 and 2. The 22 in his favorite spot on the top portion of the track gets choked up by the 13 as he does a slide jump up to the top. Ruins the run. Door checks the 19. Side by side, the 2 race winners of the 2025 season. They remain door to door, nose to nose. Stephen Hayes blocks the inside lane. Does JJ get a run on the top? He does. He's going to find to the outside of the 13. Gets to the line. 24 to go, Dustin.
24 to go. JJ McCoy trying to figure out how to get by in a dead heat race. You see Stephen Hayes jumps up and blocks the run for the 22 and then back down. A little lane control going on here as he's trying to maintain these drivers. As it sits right now, Jeremy, if this was white flag lap, we would have a 66.66% chance to see a repeat winner, because the only one out of these 3 that has not won this season is your current race leader, the 13 of Stephen Hayes.
Absolutely indeed true. It's not lame. Finally back on the YouTube side saying good luck, everyone. Let's go, Mantle. Good to see you back for the 2025 broadcast there, sir. But at the line, 22 to go. 23 to go. As that number updated before they crossed the line, it looked like. I don't care. It's cool now. But they're still side by side here. The 22, the 19, giving it all. But look at the number 2. Oh, here we go. We're going to go on this this spoiler camera. I love this shot. It is so cool. It's very effective here at Auto Club. But we're having a 4-truck race here. He's going to go to the inside, but we're going to watch McCoy. He's going to come. Look at that diamond effect there, but in reverse. He's going to enter it high, cut down to the middle, gets a great straight corner exit, and he's going to dive it down to the inside, and he's now going to maybe clear the 13. What an excellent move through for 3 and 4.
Yeah, excellent move through 3 and 4 indeed. Side by side is now the 13 of Stephen Hayes is up on the top side. McCoy on the bottom. McCoy getting a good run through turn 1. But this is where that high side prevails. There is that launch and that speed momentum on that high side. Stephen Hayes lurching forward, but being up on that top side. Tire wear is a factor. Remember, 22 laps to go. You still, if this thing goes green, have to make those tires last as much as possible. But good side-by-side racing right now as these drivers are getting real close, Jeremy.
Just a dead battle right now. And 2 by 2, really. If you look on back, the number 2, Brody Marinko, he's here. He is wanting in. Remember, he hit the wall on this last restart just a few laps ago. And it took him no time to get back to these top 3 trucks. They've been battling so hard. They've been losing some time to the trucks that may be in contention to win this thing. Coming up the 20 laps to go at the line. And it's a 4-truck battle, just like it was in the Cup Series about an hour ago.
Absolutely, Jeremy. And this is a perfect time before we sit here and go any further. With the way these guys are racing, I think this is a perfect time to crank up, to turn up the tube segment and listen to these trucks go around this track unfiltered for a couple laps. Now turn up the tubes.
And that was Turn Up the Tude. That's our version of crank the music up, crank the sounds up, and let them roar on your headphones, on your computer speakers, wherever you're getting your sounds from tonight's broadcast here. As the number 2 is going to do a little wall ride action there. It's going to slow down that truck pace about 5 to 10 truck lengths. And that might just do it there for the number 2, as the top 3 have gotten really stagnant. They're a little spaced out. And so is a lot of this field, Dustin.
Yeah, it's we have little packs going on. So we've talked about now your top 3: Stephen Hayes, J.J. McCoy, Jacob Grant. After that wall scrape from Brody Marinko, that's kind of put him in a little island of his own. So he's that little second pack. But then you got this third pack here being led by the 89 of Bobby Mantle. That is your 5th place, but he's under fire right now from the 73 of Jeff Wimmer. And Wimmer looking to possibly be under attack from the 25, but that is not, well, that is for position, because now he's in battle between himself and the 89. So this pack here getting racy, Jeremy.
Starting to pick up here in different parts of the track that hasn't been before. We've been so heavily focused on the top 5 and how amazing that race has been. But these other packs have still been here. They just haven't been as full as the ones we've been watching. But this is a good battle here nonetheless. Momentarily, single file down the front straightaway here. 77 Shane Wielden has been cheered on by Jeff on the YouTube side, which, by the way, still 26 viewers. We've been really thrilled about the 23 to 27 viewers all race long. So really appreciate you guys sticking with it here and watching us here for the last now 13 laps of the Dale Brooks Classic 200 for the Beat Cancer themed style race here. And man, what a race to have that kind of outlook on the cancer thing, is to showcase not only our hatred for cancer and to get rid of it, but also have an amazing race at the same time.
Yeah, and these drivers are not holding back. I mean, this battle right here, and this is right around that 5th place right now, currently held by Jeffrey Wimmer. He's kind of pulled out, and Mantle's pulled out in 6th, but from 7th on back, Jeremy, I mean, this battle here has just raged on under the lights here of the Legacy Auto Club Speedway.
Legacy Auto Club, not to be mentioned, or not to be confused with Legacy Motor Club. That's a thing now, but that's cool. But a single file here, and kind of calm. We've had so many storms of brewing throughout this whole race, Dustin. It's kind of weird to see the spacing, which, you know who's in favor of that? Probably the number 13. Oh, the 13 actually, I think, just hit the wall there in the center of 1 and 2. It's going to allow J.J. McCoy to kind of bring him in just a little bit. It looked like he almost checked up and hit the wall. That was. As now he goes the safe route to the bottom of 3 and 4. And this is going to be for 10 to go. Here we go. Caution is out, Dustin. Never mind. Now the storm is really a brewing, as the restart will happen in about 3 to 4 laps. But Shane Wielden, we just mentioned him on the broadcast, and it looks like he will be involved in this one. Oh.
Yeah, and it looked like contact between him and the 35 of Blake Tidwell, and oh man, he gets lift off a little bit, brings it back down, lands, but question is, oh, hard contact, man.
That's Brody in the number 2, right?
No.
That wasn't?
Don't believe so. Brody Marinko's up in 4th.
No,
Man,
he's in 4th. Never mind.
I want to say that was Don Blazer. Wow, what a lick.
That was Don Blazer. Okay, they're very similar colors. I couldn't tell, but here we are. We're going to see this from his perspective. There's the contact. Stay high, stay high, stay high. Wash up. Boom. He got hit so hard in the left front. Dustin, the truck just took off straight. And the left front is broken. You see it wobbling there underneath that fender. That's a required repair. That's a meatball flag.
Oh, 100% right there. And on top of that, have a hard time controlling that. You can see inside that cockpit right now, it's tough. It really is. I mean, look at 90 degrees to the right, man. That thing has got no toe right now. He's trying to drive. That's straight for him. And he's got it turned 90 degrees to the right just to drive straight because of that busted left front.
Yeah, the thing is completely toast. with only 10 laps to go. Probably at least a 7 to 8 minute required repair to get that thing put back together. You might as well just start packing up the toolboxes and load the truck up because your night is done. That's terrible to see, man. But it's either the back straightaway or it's turn one, been the two problem childs. And the back straight doesn't really surprise me. For those who are just like, it's the back straightaway, you're not even turning. What's the problem? Draft is such a huge thing. You have to, get close to the guys, and then you have to throw in the bumps. And so when you try to side draft with the bumps or try to make some moves, the trucks get upset. And so it's actually quite easily a thing to make contact on the back straightaway.
It really is. And now what this is going to do, Jeremy, is it's going to close everybody back up. That's not what the 13 of Stephen Hayes or the 22 of JJ McCoy wanted to see as things got stretched out, especially for those top three. So even Jacob Grant, now it's going to close it up. It's going to put Stephen Hayes, JJ McCoy side by side for this restart. And we're going to have less than 10 to go, Jeremy. So it's going to get super close. These guys are going to race super hard. And with that, with everything on the line, Jeremy, we know cautions can breed cautions. And this is going to be the prime real estate for that to actually take place because these drivers are going to lay everything out on the line.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing battle here. We'll see. The 13, 22, 19, they've been the class of the field tonight. The 2 of Marinko, he's been there, but he can't sustain. But maybe on this short run, we'll see something a little different. As we're spiling in here, 1 to go. We're going to get this thing restarted with 7 laps remaining in this 100 lap event. And you haven't seen nothing yet, I don't think. We've seen 2 blowovers. We've seen 3 wide. We've seen some crazy wrecks. But I think we got one more caution in the books, and I don't know. This restart, I think, might get pretty wild. Has a great chance at it anyways.
Oh, it absolutely does. They've been out there on these tires now about 15 laps, give or take. One thing to keep in mind could be tire spin, too. I mean, these drivers are going to have to try to have a clean restart. For the ones that may not have a clean restart, expect some of these drivers to take evasive action and maneuvers because they don't want to fall off and lose the chance because they don't have the time to try to make that back up with 7 laps to go once they get the green flag.
Here we go. Pace car down. Green flag about to fly once more. 13 Stephen Hayes at the realm here. Green flag is out. This thing is underway.
Tire spin from the 22.
And then the number 2, they're going left and right all over the place here. They get it straightened out here as they get up to speed. Enters in turn number 1. The buttoned up here through the top 5. 19 has to check up just a little bit. Oh, that's pretty close to the outside wall. Some of these drivers are. 1 with contact here. Bouncing all around, making moves into turn 3.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we were just talking about was a tire spin on the restarts. Now the drivers that spun, that's going to be the 22 and the 2. So unlucky number 2s apparently have to try to make it back up. Oh, slide job by the 19 of Grant right in front of the 2 of Brody Marinko. A little bit of contact made there, kind of got the 19 a little out of sorts. But look at the racing back there for 5th on back. Bobby Mantle right now. Oh, contact made.
No.
That's Blake Tidwell. And saves it. What a save.
He's still saving it. He's still saving it.
Oh,
no. Caution. 35.
That was the longest yellow flag ever. Amazing save by the 35 at Tidwell. But with the tires being as hot and greasy as what they are and worn, just the back and forth trying to regain on it. And this was him trying to regain it. Back and forth, and it finally just... it was the reaction because he thought he was getting close to those drivers on the inside, so he pulled it up, and it just upset the truck even more.
Yeah, and he just came down the track at the same time. The guy right below him there, that was the number 73. He went down for that same real estate as he was trying to pick up. And they came together there. Right there, you're going to see right there. Up, down, boom, contact had been had. 73, Jeff Wimmer. 35 of Blake Tidwell. And 3 wide momentarily as the contact happens. 25, literally nowhere to go. Abram Ghostin. He just sees the issue, checks up, still keeps himself there. He's like, okay, whew, he's got it saved. And then, oh no, not again. And then finally going to happen right in front of him. And 2 trucks involved in this one.
Yeah, tough break there for the 25 and the 35 on that one there. But Jeremy, this is going to set up for a wild one. We got 5 laps to go as it sits right now. Still under caution. This is going to be like just a genuine green-white checker, just a natural green-white checker by the time these guys get back to green flag racing. They're going to have essentially 3 laps of racing to try to duke this one out. They're at 4 laps to go right now. Pace lights on the car still on. So depending on how iRacing does this, we'll have to see how this is going to play out.
Yep, absolutely here. And see the wave around from one of the trucks there. It looks like the number 20 is going to get that wave around. Joshua Raymond. He will get back on the lead lap, so 19 trucks will be found on the lead lap with about 3 laps to go? It'll be 2 laps to go, actually. So an unofficial green-white checkered will be had here on this restart. Will not count toward the total amount. And, yeah, Brandy Logston there on the chat saying so close. And if you're the 25, that was so close to not wrecking. If you were the 35, you were so close to saving it. And we're also so close to the finish of this thing. But we're going to stack them back up. 13 has to do one more attempt at this restart, hopefully on his end, before he gets to maybe see the first checker flag of the 2025 season.
Yeah, and he's got to have a restart. If there was any restart that was key and pivotal, you thought it was the last one. No, it's this one. He has got to have a restart as clean, if not better, than what he had last time. And he's got to hope that J.J. McCoy, Jacob Grant, Brody Marinko have a restart like they had last restart where they had tire spinach. Thing is I don't know. After the last restart, J.J. McCoy is a driver that learns from his mistakes. And knowing that there's tire spin, I have a feeling he's going to prep for that, so I would expect a better restart from that 22 this time around. Either way, we are going to have an excellent race down to the checkered flags.
Yes, we will. This will be a great battle here amongst the top 3 or 4. And then quite a few spots are really up for grabs here. The top 10 are not safe by any means. This is going to get pretty hairy here. 1 to go. Like I said, it will be 2 to go. It's not counting toward the green-white checkered attempts. It is a natural occurrence here. And we're going to do a quick shout out to one of our partners before we go green flag, and it's going to be Victory Fuel, the official hydration partner for the Nerditudes. It's full of electrolytes, absence of caffeine, and low sugar content, which makes it the perfect drink to keep you hydrated, energized, and it's good for the whole family because there's no caffeine. Your little ones around the house can have it, and there's no artificial color, so it promotes health, natural, just everything good about this drink. It's not a big can, so it's not like you're drinking a huge amount of it. And it's really refreshing. And 3 great flavors. Head yourself over to drinkvictory.com. Promotion code SUPERNERD again. It's going to save you 10% off your purchase from drinkvictory.com. And Dustin, here we go. Pace car down potentially for the last time here. We got 2 to go at the start-finish line right now. 13 has been the man on the point for the past 20 or 30 laps. Can he continue and finish P1, or will there be a spoiler? Green flag is out. This thing's underway.
Excellent start by the 13 there. He goes out to a commanding lead on that, leaving the 19 and 22 side by side. Oh, Richmond around right now. He's down and around. No caution as that's off the track. Spins it back up, but there's nobody there. If he gets it back going, we will stay green, and we're going to stay green on that one. 2 laps to go. 13 is Stephen Hayes out front. Jacob Grant, J.J. McCoy side by side. Grant getting a hell of a push from the 74 Dustin Franklin.
Stephen Hayes had to block the inside lane there. It's going to allow J.J. McCoy to get a great run. Here we go. Crossover effect. Had to make the contact to the bow. Reckon 89 Bobby Mantle. across the field. Final lap.
No caution
yet. Staying green flag. I'm super surprised that stayed green. iRacing knows what's up. It's not a NASCAR race. We're going green flag. Oh, the 74 dive bombs of Justin Franklin. Where the heck did this guy come from? He must have chose tires late in the going. And there's the spoiler I was talking about out of nowhere. Dustin Franklin, 74, is going to just steal the show, Dustin. Final corner, 13, doing everything he can. He's going to hit the wall to try to carry some speed. And he's going to cost himself 2 spots from that. Takes himself out of podium in the 74. Man, oh man.
Wow.
What a drive with his fresh set of tires. Congratulations there, Dustin Franklin.
Did not have Dustin Franklin on the bingo card out of nowhere. We called his name a few times throughout the race. And out of nowhere, just everything started playing in his favor. He's seen the opportunity, elected to seize the opportunity, and we have our 3rd different winner of Season 7 of the Global Racing League Truck Series.
This man restarted in 6th place, and then in 2 laps passed 5 trucks and took home the checkered flag. What an impressive drive. Everybody else on older tires, 74, said, you know what, here's my time to shine, and did everything correct. Now, this is the first time we see him do a burnout, so we know the rule when I'm in the booth, if you hit the wall. But he's going to keep it low, so I think we're safe there as he burns it down there with a great camera angle here. I love this bokeh effect on this thing as he is just cooking it. And that's it. Parks it right on the logo. Race over. So here's your unofficial results here presented by Icon Apparel Group Company. I keep calling them group. They're a group, but it's company. Either way, Dustin Franklin's going to take it P1. Jacob Grant, 2nd place. JJ McCoy in 3rd. Jonathan Gaston in 4th. Brady Marinko, 5th. Justin Wimmer, 6th. Stephen Hayes, 7th. You got Raj Mangi Pudi. Thank you. It's going to take me a minute. I apologize. But he finishes 8th. Bradley Miner, 9th. Chuck Cobb in 10th. Danny White in 11th. Shane Wield in 12th. Everybody else on back. Blake Tidwell, Mark Sherwood, Joshua Raymond, Abram Ghostin, Bobby Mantle. And that's your last person on the lead lap in 17th. Everybody 18th on back. 1 lap down or more. And then it's James Robbins, Jeremy Richmond, Ron Harrington, David Holsey, Clay White, Jonathan Howard, Don Blazier, Michael Hayes, Michael Lester, Kenny Heath, Patrick Gentner, Ricky Hudgens, Stephen Knight, Justin LeBlanc. And that's your lineup for tonight's race. Certainly it's not the lineup, but the finishing results for that matter of the Dale Brooks Classic 200. We're going to go full screen commercial break, gather up our top 3, and we will be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
And welcome back here for the Icon Apparel Company post-race show. And we got ourselves on our screens. And we got a top 3 to top 2. First one's going to be that number 22, Mr. JJ McCoy, the third place finisher here this evening. You won 2 weeks ago, and tonight here you got a really close showing here. Excellent drive, man, all night long. One of the few guys that utilized the top for the most part of this race. How was your race overall in your perspective?
It was pretty good. I felt like we were super fast. I felt like we got pretty unlucky with the cautions there. I just never had enough laps left to get around Steven, but I feel like I think that's one that got away from us. I think if I could have stayed green long enough, I think we would have checked out.
That's kind of curious too, because the outside usually, if you're carrying more speed, iRacing registers that as more tire wear. And since you were at the top for the most part of this race, you were looking for the long run to take advantage of that. So, what's the key to running to the top and saving that tire?
Just getting into it easy, backing up your entry just a little bit and, hammering down on the way out. If you drive it off the right rear, you won't get nearly as tight. If you drive it in too hard, you'll be too tight and you won't be able to run the bottom or the top. So, I'd say the tire wear was pretty forgiving here. But yeah, I was just trying anything I could to just get around Steven. The laps were taken down, and then say when he caught the wall there coming out of 4, that kind of checked us all up. And Dustin did a heck of a job saving a set of tires, and Jacob did a heck of a job. I had a lot of fun battling with those guys. I feel like nonetheless, we put on a pretty good show.
Oh, it's a phenomenal show. Yeah, you, Jacob Grant, and the 13 of Stephen Hayes, just phenomenal performance all night long in the top 5. So congratulations on a great run, regardless of you saying you missed out on this one, but it was a great show regardless. And maybe next week you'll pick up your second checkered flag. But any final thoughts before we let you go?
Man, we're just I'm looking to get back to that championship again. So we had a pretty hot and heavy welcome to Global Series, and like to keep it going and keep the team championship going for Grim Reaper also.
There you go, man. Well, congrats, and we will catch you next Sunday.
All right, guys, have a great night.
You too. Thank you. JJ McCoy, the number 22, looking to really just outdo himself from last year, just starting off much better, and it looks like he's motivated to bring home a championship trophy at the end of this year. But turn our attention to the second place guy, Jacob Grant, winner of last week's event. Jacob, congrats on P2.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man, a little newer face here for me to talk to here. Looks like you're starting this season off pretty damn well. You won last week, second place here, and so welcome to GRL. And how you feeling about this season for yourself?
I feel pretty confident. Everybody over at Ghost Motorsports does a good job of getting these trucks set up every week and getting on track and practicing and getting the truck to feel the way that we need it to feel for race day. So it's shout out to Ghost Motorsports for hooking us up and getting us in position to finish in the podium and have these good runs and good races and keeping it respectful and clean against all my other competitors.
Yeah, the top 5, excellent race all night long. Kept it super clean there. Couple close calls, but for the most part, it was a great race to watch. And so, I know Dustin Franklin stole the show, but beforehand, it was the 13 of Stephen Hayes that was your top person. And what could have you done different there about 70 or lap 70, lap 80 to maybe take advantage of the 13 and put yourself in a chance to win without the cautions?
I was trying to time one of those restarts around that time. I think it was like 20 to go or something like that, or 17 to go or whatever it was. And give Steve a good push to where I can get out in front of JJ and then try to get to Steve's outside. That was the only way I was going to be able to get around him, was get to his outside and hold it there and just take off and try to keep everybody else behind me. And me and JJ had a really good battle almost the entire race, especially in the second half. We were around each other the entire time and keeping it close, keeping our doors banging. And I decided to back off and just ride behind JJ, see if I can push him up there to pass Steve. But Steve's truck was just really, really fast tonight. And it wasn't for Dustin and him driving into the wall, I think he was the truck to beat.
Yeah, 100% there. And yeah, excellent racing between you guys all, especially you and JJ. But nonetheless, man, great job. P2 tonight. Phenomenal start to 2025. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, first I'd like to shout out my girlfriend for always watching and helping me put this paint scheme on that I've been doing really well in. Me and Dustin talked about that last week. I've won a few league races in this paint scheme. Now I'm finishing second again in the top 3 for 2 weeks in a row. So hopefully it'll keep the good luck coming. Thank you guys for putting on a broadcast. Thank everybody who helps run this league and making it is what it is. And everybody over at Ghost Motorsports. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. That melting glittery paint scheme on that 19 looks really good. Appreciate that design there. Looks great. But yeah, we'll catch you next Sunday, man.
Yep, thanks.
Yes, sir. And that was the 19, Jake LeGrant, P2. And now the guy who steals the show. It's not the Dustin in the broadcast booth. It's Dustin Franklin, the 74. Dustin, your pit stop on that 92 stole the show, man. Congratulations, coming out of nowhere, 6th the first on that last restart.
Yes, sir. I was planning on taking tires with everybody else, but I knew one of the only ways I'd be able to stay up there is if I tried to do something a little different. I thought I was screwed there, and I was going to finish 17th. But, yeah, man, it worked, and everybody raced me cleanly. Nobody tried to use me up or anything, so we made it to the front.
Yeah, it's welcome to the league, man. This is your first time here, and I'm still getting acquainted with some of the new names for this season. And yeah, we didn't talk about you too much. You had a couple close calls there on the track and whatnot, but you kept it pretty clean. The truck looked good. But from the start of this race, that was your plan, right? To just have a set of tires for the very end, knowing there might be a decent chance out of caution.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not the best at saving tires, so I'm practicing on that, as I do these longer races. So that was kind of my plan. I did a good job. I burned them up, I think, like the third run there, which kind of made me drop back to 17th before I got those fresh tires. But I always like to end the race with a set of tires if possible. Most of the time it doesn't work out this way, and I end up finishing 17th. But this time we had a caution, I was able to make it to the front.
You talk about this position 17. There must be a reason behind you keep labeling 17th. What's the idea behind that number?
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't 17th. You just get the number stuck in your head. I was way back there. That's all I know.
Way back there.
Yeah, I was way, way back there.
All right, 2-4, man. Well, yeah, you surprised the heck out of us. I knew you made that late pit stop. I didn't think that was worthy of you just flying through the field there on that green-white checker there. But congrats. You got yourself a W. 3 for 3 on different winners this season. And any shout-outs before we let you go?
I want to shout out the whole my whole team here, and I want to shout out Fort Worth Screen Printing out of Texas. My buddy John T. Garrett, he drives the ARCA carpet once in a while IRL. He helps me out all the time, and I thank you guys, the league admins, and thank you, of course, for doing this, man. I can't wait to watch the broadcast at the end here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, go ahead and do so. It was a great race all night long, and congrats once more. We will catch you next Sunday.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
You too. That was Dustin Franklin of the 74, the guy that we barely talked about, had no idea he was going to even be in shot for this win. And Dustin, the cards played right for him, and we got a third different winner this year.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that race, nothing less than expected from Auto Club. I mean, this track always puts on amazing races, and I mean, out of the drivers over here at Global Racing League Truck Series, they always put on a good show, and I mean, they did not hold back on the drama at the end and the surprises. So it was an awesome show.
Yeah, very, very good show. I loved that race. That was an amazing battle all night long. Didn't matter if it was for 5th or 10th or 15th. And yeah, I mean, that's the first race I had for this league 2025. So let's see if we can continue this kind of showing up. 30 entries, epic battles all night long. I know it's a great track, but man, this makes me excited for this season. Let's see what Global Racing League has in store for this year. I appreciate you, Dustin, doing all the button work and whatnot. I'm under the weather. You got some little heat pain going on, so we're gonna close this thing out. Thank you guys. We had 23 to 27 viewers on YouTube alone, all race long, and even this post race, we're over double digits at 11. So that's great. That's awesome. So appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. You're gonna catch us this coming Thursday, as we're gonna broadcast SRA late model stock tour event for our bi-weekly Thursday showing, and then we'll be back here next Sunday as well. So a couple of different things in the works, and some Wednesday broadcasts coming up soon. Not this Wednesday, but next. So we'll be 3 times a week on this thing. But you guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, and of course, get your nerd on.
As always, it's not goodbye. Just till next time.
Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue, we fell into play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to back when nothing truly mattered.